Hi guys, welcome back. So today we have a new start video. However, I have a bit of a confession. We're not actually just starting this one. I decided to work on a project that I started a long time ago and had set aside for whatever reason. Well, I know the reason, but we'll get into all that. But for now, I decided that rather than have a bunch of half-finished projects laying around, I thought this might be a really good time to maybe finish up at least one. Maybe we'll do a couple. But this one, this is an oldie. You guys may or may not even remember these kits. They're about 10 years old. They were really popular. You could find them at like your general craft stores, Joann's, Michael's, all that. But I have not seen them for ages, so I don't know if they even still make them anymore, if you can find them. I honestly don't know. So I apologize in advance if you are smitten with this and decide you want to do it and have a hard time finding it. That's the risk we take sometimes though, when we go and buy stuff and then let it sit forever. So anyways, without further ado, here it is. It is a Dimensions Daydreams kit. It came in like a full box because it comes with the frame, a glass frame, and then all your bits and pieces as well. So everything's in here, or should be. It has been smashed and well and truly loved over the years as, you know, it's been moved around. But I know I started it already. So anyways, let's dig in and see what all the bits are. So first of all, you gotta get it all out. It's packed in there pretty good, actually. And so you get like this little piece of fabric, and as you can see, I have started it. I'm gonna have to figure out, I think I started it this way. So this is how much I have done of the little kitty. So when you look at the picture, you can see the stitched part is just in here. Like, you're only stitching this. This is all part of the printed frame that comes with it. So it's sort of like that dimensional thing, dimensions. But the stitch part becomes part of the full image, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's just little. Now, I'll tell you why I started this and didn't finish it. I remember at the time I thought it was going to be like a really easy project. You know, you're just stitching this little tiny square, but it was surprisingly more complicated than what I was after at the time, because the kitten is very, her coloring is very mottled. So yeah, I just remember it taking a lot longer than what I wanted to invest at the time that I started it. Now this was, again, like I say, 10 years ago. The printed date on this, it has a little printed date of March 2010. So, you know, I've done a lot of cross stitching since then, a lot of bigger pieces, a lot more complicated pieces. So for me now, I don't think this will be a big deal. I think this will go pretty quickly. So, yeah, that's how much I have done. I don't know how much that is, like maybe like 10 or 15% of it, but that's fine. So you also get, I have it all wrapped around, all of your threads. Oh, here, there we go. And they come in the standard, you know, dimensions way, where it's like part of this foam thing, and you just, to get it off, you just grab one string. I don't know if you guys know this. Most of you probably do, but you grab one string and then you just kind of tightly hold the others in place and then pull your one string, and it'll kind of coil up and you can just pull, pull, pull. And then when you get to the end, you just give it a little yank, and what will happen is you'll get your one thread, and the rest of the group, the rest of the 6 pieces of thread will stay attached in that foam. So if you haven't worked these before, that's one way to do it. Otherwise, you can just take these out, like just pull them all out and sort them in your own way, whether you do, you know, thread them around a bobbin, or I've take sometimes an index card and a hole punch, and I'll punch holes, you know, around the index card and label them, if that's easier for you. Or they have these little, I've not tried them, but they have these little plastic sorters, and you attach a needle to each color thread, and it has like a little pin cushion type thing along each section, and you label each section, and all your threads hook on, and then you just pull the needle for the color you need and then put it back when you're done. So that's another way. For something like this, I just stick with this and move along. But anyways, yeah, when you first look at these, you might be like, well, how do I keep it attached? That's how you do it. Just remember, grab the one. In fact, we'll just pull this one, okay? So see how it's just bundling up like that? And now we get to the end, see, and just hold it and give it a yank. And we have one thread, and the rest is still attached. So just a little helpful hint for how to deal with, you know, especially these dimensions sorters. All right, that was a little bit of a sidetrack. Sorry about that. Okay, so then the next thing we have is our little sheet with some instructions. They're pretty basic instructions. I wouldn't say anything too extraordinary. And then our pattern, so, and our key here. So this one happens to have a few half stitches and some blended colors where you got to combine the colors. So surprisingly, a lot going on for such a small little piece, but I think that'll just make it look that much more realistic when you have all those color changes, you know. And then somehow, oh, I see. So the box has these little clips to hold the frame in place. So you get the little frame out. Oh, it's in like a little bubble. I don't even know that I ever unpacked the frame. Let's get this tape off carefully. All right, so we have, I guess it's the backing piece. Oh, I'm sure there's just directions on how to frame this. So, and here's your printed, I thought it was printed on the glass, but it's not. I guess it's more like a mat. It's just a cardstock thickness though. It's not really as thick as a mat would be. Oh, but then you get like an actual mat. So my guess is that you somehow put the mat behind it and then put your cross stitch in, glass over top, and then somehow you anchor your cross stitch onto this somehow. I'm sure there's, like I said, I'm sure there's instructions. When we do our review video for this one, I will try to have it all framed up before we go over that and talk about how that all came together, because yeah, I don't really feel like reading through the instructions for that right now, but basically that's how it'll end up looking. And then we can even pull this out so it would, whoops, go something like that. Anyways, so there you go. That's what we're gonna work on this time, and kind of get it out of our pile, our stash as they call it. Yeah, I'd forgotten all about that one. And when looking at what my next project was gonna be, I had pulled out 2 new starts, like brand new, and 2 that I hadn't finished. And I was sort of debating, none of them were really speaking to me right now. Like I wasn't really keen on any of them. And so I was sort of, you know, hummed and hawed about it. And then last night I was like, you know, I'm just gonna dig back through my stash again. I have this drawer. And so I was just flicking through and I happened to see that one. I don't know how I've missed it. I guess probably because, you know, it's sat there for 10 years. And so when you see something for 10 years, you know, you just kind of end up not noticing it as much. So I think that's probably what happened. And last night I saw it and I was like, you know what? The weather says we might even get a little snow this week, some flurries. Nothing that's gonna stick, thank goodness. But yeah, and I just thought, feels like the right time to pull that one out and get it done. And the reason I picked that, well, I love cats, first of all. I love cats and birds. Winter's not necessarily my thing, although I think winter's beautiful. I just hate all the work that comes with it. But the cat in this picture looks just like the cat I had growing up, named Muffin. And I had her for a really long time, actually. And so that's why I had picked it. It reminded me of my Muffin, and we, growing up, did live in a snowy area, so it would not be uncommon for her to sit in a window and look outside. Still, it sort of captures, you know, the essence of my cat and my, you know, growing up. So that's why I picked that when I first saw the kit. So yeah, we're gonna get it done. All right, guys. Well, I hope all of your projects are going well. And if you have any questions or comments about the Dimensions Daydreams kitty, then let me know. And hopefully it won't be too long and we'll have that one done and checked off our list. See you next time. Bye.